Here we go again. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? It's Coach Nick Money in the house with the one and only DBL Nick.
In the house.
Also known as
The Rainmaker.
All right, so this is the first episode of Coach Nick Money Matters.
Yes.
Coach Nick Money Matters. The format is a little bit different than what we do in the morning.
Yes.
We're going to be focusing on issues dealing with financials and stocks
Yep.
and current events
And relevant topics.
and relevant topics and interesting stories relating to the same. And it's going to be in a chat format. We'll discuss some stonks too. I mean, like for example, we're looking at MSS, which we called in our Discord before it ran parabolic on earnings news. It went up 130, 140%. Mere bag of shells. I mean, yeah, that was like KAVL that we called this morning that went well over 200%. 200%. There you go, 200%. But that's not what this show's about. This show's going to be a little bit different. We're going to do a deeper dive and look at what's going on in the market overall and connect it to the micro caps and connect everything to everything. Everything. So let's get right into it. Let's start talking about some stuff, and then we're gonna get into some interesting stories. I can't wait to get into the interesting stories.
Oh my God.
The interesting stories are going to be very interesting.
They're going to be very interesting.
They're going to be very interesting. So
they
let's get right into it. Okay, here we go. So first things first, we have some information that came out today from different members of the Federal Reserve.
Ooh.
So some interesting stuff that may have a direct impact on the small cap market as well as the overall market.
Oh.
Time to get a little drinky poo. Little drinky poo here.
Yes.
So doubles.
Yeah.
Federal Reserve member Goolsbee has indicated, and this is pretty interesting for the microcaps, that there may be many rate cuts over the next year. Many rate cuts over the next year. That's particularly interesting for the small cap market because obviously small caps tend to do better when interest rates start to drop.
Oh, yes, they do.
And the Federal
both
Reserve,
news.
you know what they did just on a couple days ago, on the 18th of September,
What they do?
Chairman Powell came out and said, we're going to cut a half a percentage point, half a basis point.
Oh.
Half a basis point. They're going to cut the Fed rate.
Wow.
So they did that.
That's
They
bullish
did that.
news as well.
Yeah, so, you know, and the federal rate has a direct impact on things like car loans and things of that nature, and also overall expenses.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a direct, believe it or not, it doesn't have a direct relationship to mortgages, but oftentimes when they start doing rate cuts, it does.
It trickles down.
It does trickle to the mortgage rates, and
Yeah.
and now mortgage rates are almost at 6%, almost at 6%, whereas about a year ago they were well over 7%, almost 8%. So that's a big change, and the Federal Reserve member Goolsbee is basically tipping his hand and suggesting that there's going to be several rate cuts. I guess they're very concerned about making sure that the economy doesn't slow down too much in an effort to cut the inflation, right?
Yeah.
So he also said unemployment is rising but still low, and the gross domestic products is still strong. So these are all pretty positive indications from the Fed member Goolsbee. Ladies and gentlemen, let's share the stream because I'm going to get into some interesting stuff. I'm going to start off slow and start cooking a little faster, right, Doubles? What do you think?
Yeah.
So that Fed member was not the only Fed member that made a comment about what's going on.
So there's more of these people.
There's actually three of them that made comments. The next one I want to talk about is Fed member Bostic, Bostic. No, not Bast.
No,
Bostic,
Bostic.
not
Be good.
that one.
Be good.
That one.
Behave.
And what this member said is if the job market deteriorates, rate cuts could be larger if needed.
Oh.
All very positive,
Very positive news.
stuff for the small cap, micro cap trading climate, because as interest rates drop, generally speaking, we tend to see more activity in small caps. There's more money flowing, more money flowing,
Yeah.
and there's more people trading. There's more parabolic runners, generally speaking. So all of this is music to my ears.
That's music to my
I
ears.
think
We're going
it's-
to call a lot more bangers a lot more times.
Oh, and we do that a lot.
We do that already.
We call a lot of bangers.
A lot of
times. We have degrees in bangernomics.
Bangernomics. I got mine from Big Bang
Bangernomics.
College.
And I got mine from Bang U University. BUU. BUU
Yeah, he's Dr.
Ew.
Coach. They call him
Yeah.
Dr. Coach Sick Money, PhD.
in Bangernomics.
In Bangernomics.
Absolutely. All right. The other Fed member is a guy named Kashkari.
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 Ooh, that's a nice name.
And he has penciled in a 50 basis point cut before the end of 2024, which is not necessarily a big surprise because they mentioned that they were looking to cut rates at about 1 full basis point before the end of the year.
Yeah.
But this is just even more fuel to the fire
That's
that these
more
rates are
indication.
coming. And he goes on and says the labor market is strong and we want to keep it that way. So all indications are that they're going to be continuing to cut rates to keep the economy going, and they're also looking to cut rates going into 2025,
Yep.
which means we're going to see lower interest rates, which means there's going to be more availability for money, right?
Of
And
course.
hopefully that will counteract any economic slowdowns that are happening right now. But specifically for us as small cap traders, that should create a situation where more people should be able to have more liquid cash
Yeah.
and be able to trade these small caps, which should create more volatility, and we should have more runners like MSS that ran 140% or something like that.
That was a
After
baby
we
one.
called it, mind you.
That was probably one of our smaller ones.
That was a baby one.
That was a baby.
It was a baby.
We had like one that were
And then
well over 300.
KAVL earlier today that ran over 200%. We were asking for it to run over
Ooh.
200% in the morning stream. I don't know who
And
was
it
in the
did.
morning stream, but there were people that were in the morning stream that heard us ask for over 200%. And of course, after we left, that's when it ultimately made it all the way up to about 230% or something like that. Something like that. I mean, Bangernomics,
But just
baby.
made different, man.
Bangernomics.
Bangernomics.
Bangernomics, ladies and
Bangernomics,
gentlemen.
boys. Let's go.
Bangernomics. Okay, so, and of course, all of this stuff comes in first through the Discord. There is a link in the description to join the Discord. There's a free trial, not a free trial, but a 4-day trial for $1.99, because nothing's free in the world. Nothing's free. Nothing's free, Doubles. Nothing.
Nothing's free. Nothing's
But
free.
you do get a 4-day trial for $1.99. You can check it out for yourself. Get the alerts early through the Discord.
Yep.
And of course, you also have access to our live stream in the Discord where we give you information on what we're thinking about the particular stocks that are being traded and how we are going to, in fact, trade them. All right?
All right.
So that's the story with that. Let's move on to some other interesting news. So here's where the stream gets a little bit more different, right? So we're going to talk about stuff, but we're going to talk about stuff that has an impact on the overall financial market, and in many instances might have an impact on some aspect of the stock market, right? So here's an interesting thing. Time for a little bit more beverage.
What you drinking there?
Fanta.
Fanta. Fanta's delicious.
Delish.
The orange
Delish.
One, you tried the grape one.
Grape one's all right.
The grape one was
The strawberry was good. The grape one was good, but
orange.
the orange it just hits different. So Doubles, watch this.
All right. Let me,
So I was perusing through articles this morning,
Yep.
and of course, we have complete access to all of Benzinga's articles in our Discord.
Yes.
So obviously, you'll get to check that out as well
As
when
will
you
many
do
other
the trial.
articles.
And there was an article about what luxury items billionaires are currently purchasing.
Ooh.
And I came across a particular article that was very, very interesting, Doubles. So let's play a game, Doubles. Let's play a
Okay.
game. What are some of the things that a billionaire would purchase? Luxury things. Come on, the most obvious ones.
Mansions.
A mansion.
Rolls Royces.
Rolls Royces. a Maybach,
A Maybach.
a yacht,
A yacht. They
a
got
mansion in
a,
a yacht,
a giant safe for all their money. I don't know.
a giant safe,
Like a you know the duck, the cartoon
Gold.
duck,
gold.
cartoon duck that like dives, like does a little dive into like some gold.
Yeah,
What's his name? Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck. Yeah, Scrooge McDuck.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Right. So anyway, that's you would expect that land,
Land. Yeah.
You know,
land,
they-
houses.
stocks,
Assets,
bonds.
Assets, bonds.
Things like that.
Yeah. Things like that. Really.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Trust funds.
Trust funds.
Right. Well, here's an interesting new occurrence with our friendly billionaires.
Oh.
They're acquiring. Ready for this?
Oh.
Luxury.
Luxury.
You're probably never going to guess this. Luxury nuclear bunkers. How about
Oh.
that?
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
It's an oasis away from. Yes,
Did
an
you
oasis
expect me to
underground.
say that? Did you expect me to say that?
I mean, I'm not surprised. Look,
You're not surprised?
They purchase space trips. Okay. And
They do purchase space
nothing-
trips.
Look, I've seen Elon Musk do one. I've seen Jeff Bezos do one. I've seen.
Did Elon Musk actually take a
Yeah,
space
he
trip?
did a space trip. I'm pretty sure.
He did.
99%
I don't think he did. I thought it was the guy from Amazon.
It was Bezos. It was Bezos.
Bezos
Too,
did it. Who else?
but I know Musk did one. I think.
Are
he
you
did one.
sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
90
I don't know.
98% sure.
Maybe,
We'll
maybe,
check,
maybe,
we'll check.
maybe.
Yeah.
But here's an interesting thing. So Facebook. So
Oh.
here's the stock connection, right? Facebook was trading
Yep.
about $279 a share a couple of years ago when the economy was doing pretty rough. I mean, it's still doing rough, but it was doing pretty rough back then.
Yeah.
And they didn't meet their earnings, and they had problems with their what's the thing with the thing on the eyes? What's that called?
It's like a rip off of the Oculus Rift. It's like a Meta.
Meta's Rift, the Oculus or something like that.
It was something like it was
Yeah,
like a rip off of the
and it
Oculus.
was
Yeah.
not virtual reality. It was
It's
VR,
VR.
VR,
It's the same thing.
and all that
it's
stuff.
just
So anyway,
product.
company wasn't hitting parameters with the money situation, and the stock was down $279 a share.
Wow.
It's currently almost $600 a share, and
almost double.
some companies, some analysts have it priced at going as high as $660
Wow.
a share. Let's share the stream, fellas. Let's ladies and gentlemen, let's share the stream. Let's get into this because this is going to be a very interesting story. So the stock almost doubled,
Yep.
doubles. So our boy Mark Zuckerberg,
Mark Zuckerberg.
Marky Mark,
Mark.
right?
Wasn't he doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fella. So Marky Mark decided that he's going to purchase up land in Hawaii,
Hawaii.
and he bought like 1,400 acres of land over a
Wow.
period of time. I think he started
1,400?
doing this. 1,400 acres of land. Doubles. To give you some context, when you were a wee little fella,
When I was a wee lad.
we used to take you to an arboretum.
Yep.
Beautiful place, beautiful
Okay.
trees.
Yep.
They had like these greenhouses.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I remember what it was.
It was massive. Do you remember how big it was?
Like 300 acres or so.
Try 350 acres. It was a
Yeah.
place called Planting Fields Arboretum in Long Island. Remember Planting Fields Arboretum? And there was even a castle.
Planting Field or Bayard?
Bayard was the smaller one.
Oh, okay. Planting Fields Arboretum.
Planting Fields Arboretum. You know, the winding roads and the
winding
hills
roads
on the North
with the
Shore.
flowers.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was only 350 acres. Now listen to what I just said. That was only 350 acres.
That's
Our
almost-
boy Marky Mark, he
that's
bought
almost
up
5 times
he
that.
bought up almost 5 times that. 1,400 acres for his mansion
Wow.
and his nuclear bunker, his luxurious nuclear bunker.
A luxurious, not just any
And the
nuclear bunker.
compound includes tree houses and tunnels. I mean, you got to have tunnels if you got a tree house.
He really built his
mandatory.
own fallout bunker, only made it
All
luxurious.
and
That's
it's kind of like a high rise, but it's actually a
crazy.
low
It's
rise.
like it's an underground tower.
He's
That's
got
really what it
he's
is.
got a bunch of different levels to this place. So
Yeah.
one level is the luxury area where there's bedrooms
Oh,
and
I've seen videos
bathrooms.
like this.
You know, very fancy schmancy stuff in
Yeah.
there. Another level is where all the cars are. I mean, I don't know if there's a nuclear catastrophe. I don't know if you're going to be driving that
I don't
much.
know if you're going to be driving
But
anything, but
There's cars all over the
I
place.
guess. I mean, if you want to look at them.
Yeah, and
wonder
he
how you're
literally
gonna
took
maintain
10.
that.
He literally took 10 years
Wow. Wow.
to acquire all this land and start building this. And I'm not sure if it's
Really
completed
waited
yet.
10 years for this. Okay.
Yeah, he's almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? I think it started in 2016, so
Oh,
8
okay,
years,
so
something like
8
that.
years, 8 years.
That's pretty long time,
Close to,
right?
Close to 10, yeah.
And as you go down, there's also a place where there's a farm, so you can
farm.
grow your food,
Yep.
and a place where you could create energy. Wouldn't it be ironic if they had a nuclear power plant down there?
Oh my god! Wow, that would be messed up.
I'm just saying. I'm talking out loud. I don't know that they have that.
I've actually seen some videos like this, like where like these YouTubers just go and they explore these nuclear plants that are owned by these rich guys.
Not
So-
nuclear plants, nuclear
no,
bunkers.
Not nuclear plants. Nuclear bunkers. excuse me.
luxury bunkers.
It's yeah, not a nuclear plant. No, they'll grow like a second head. Don't do that. But I basically saw one YouTuber go in there with his, he had his posse, he had his people, and they basically found there was like a recreation room, there was a pool room, there was a library room in this one. There was like a little miniature school. They had like a little miniature school,
Yeah.
they had a chalkboard, whole
Yeah.
9 yards. It looked like a regular school room. And they had like a pool. It had a pool. It was multi-level. There was
Right.
like probably, I don't remember how many levels. I think it was about 90. I don't remember.
90 levels? My God.
I don't remember fully. I could be wrong. I could be way off.
I
don't
mean,
remember.
it's got to be a massive undertaking to build a bunker like that because it's got to be so big and so deep, and you got to take into consideration all the needs that you would have to have
Yeah.
if there's a nuclear catastrophe.
Yep.
You know what I
And,
mean?
I mean, they also had one of the more interesting things that they had was they had what's that place? It grows it's like a little underground farm, sort of. When I say-
Greenhouse.
Yeah, greenhouse, but they also had
They
one
usually
for fish.
they usually grow marijuana with this.
Oh, oh. Hey, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they had one of those.
I mean,
too.
you got to cover all bases, no?
Hey, oh,
Those nights get long.
those nights get long. So they got a place for the fish, right? And they got a place for they had a place for fish, and they had a place for greens, like cabbages, things of that nature.
I got to tell you, whenever I think of nuclear holocausts, I don't think of luxurious
You think
nuclear
of The
bunkers.
Walking Dead. You think of The Walking Dead.
Yes, in fact, I do. I do think of The Walking Dead. I absolutely do because The Walking Dead actually had a show called Fear of the Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead.
And in one season,
Uh-huh.
there actually was a group that attacked another group with nuclear weapons, and they ended up having nuclear winter.
How did they even get
And
those?
and there were actually some of these people that survived,
Yep.
and some of the Walking Dead zombies became eradicated. I mean, it was a pretty wild show.
Were they like radioactive zombies? 'Cause
They
have
were.
They have that in Call of Duty.
They were.
They definitely took that
They
from Call of
totally. They must have, or maybe Call of Duty took it from the show.
No. The Call of Duty's been doing that since like what? Black Ops 2?
When's that? How long ago was that?
That was probably close to 10 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think
okay.
so. Very close.
Well,
to 10 years.
anyway, I thought that was kind of
Maybe more.
like a very interesting twist to The Walking Dead.
Yep.
And it was just very, very dark. And then when I hear this story about billionaires purchasing these bunkers
Look, if I see
and
a
making
zombie
them
outside
into
the screen-
luxurious bunkers, I guess if you got the money, I guess why not? Right? I guess.
Look, if I see a nuclear zombie outside the house, I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they never have to use it, except
I hope
except to
not.
have some great techno party or
I
something.
mean, just I guess it's a flex. sort
I
of.
don't know. I
It's
don't
a very
know.
odd flex, but okay.
I don't know. But it's not just Marky Mark from Meta that's got the
No, there's a bunch of
luxurious
guys.
nuclear bunker.
They're like,
There's a couple of people.
those YouTubers were actually like showing off, nuclear bunkers that belong to other rich people. I
Yeah.
don't know who they were. They
Well,
never disclosed it.
here's a couple of people that I found out have bunkers.
Yep.
We got Bill Gates from
Bill Gates.
formerly from Microsoft. And
Yep.
The bunker's actually in his house in Washington State.
Wow.
Larry Ellison. This is an interesting situation. Larry Ellison, Oracle's Larry
Yeah, he found
Ellison.
the Oracle. Yeah.
He bought up almost an entire island called Lanai in Hawaii.
the Lanai.
And that island has his bunker.
Isn't that a
Lanai.
symbol?
that's what they call the summer rooms in Florida.
The sunroom.
The sunrooms. They
Well,
call
where I
them
come from,
lanais.
they call it a
A lanai
sunroom.
is basically like an enclosed
word.
porch. A lot of times it has like a screen, or it might have glass, but a lot of times it's like a screen. So we call them lanais here, but I guess they got it
Back in
from
my
Lanai,
day,
Hawaii.
back in my day, they called it a sunroom.
A sunroom.
Sunroom.
Yeah, everywhere away from Florida, it's a sunroom. In Florida, it's a lanai. You know why?
Why?
Because there's sun everywhere.
Oh, of
So
course
they gotta,
it's a sunshine state.
they gotta separate
It's
it.
a
You know?
sunshine
They gotta
state.
make it different.
Yeah.
Right. So this guy, Larry Ellison from Oracle,
Yeah.
he actually owns almost the entire island of Lanai, Hawaii. Right.
Lanai, Hawaii.
Lanai.
Lanai, Hawaii.
Lanai.
Lanai,
Check this
Hawaii.
out. Check this out. You know who else is rumored to have bunkers in their
Who?
homes?
Who?
These luxurious nuclear bunkers. How about Shaq?
Oh, Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille
The big
O'Neal.
dude?
Big dude.
He appeared on
Shaqasaurus Rex.
The general. He appeared on the general commercials with the insurance.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, General Insurance, call us.
Hit me up.
Sponsorship.
Hit me
Yo,
up.
your
Yeah.
people, my people.
Yeah.
Come on now. We also got Kim Kardashian.
Oh God.
Kim Kardashian. And the one, the only, Oprah.
Oprah. Funny story
Oprah.
about Oprah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have a funny story about that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were.
I know what
driving-
you're going to say.
We were driving down A1A.
It's South Florida.
South
That's like
Florida.
that's a main road. For those who don't know South Florida, it's a main road that hugs the coast, the Atlantic coast. It's very picturesque.
Beautiful. Very beautiful.
Very picturesque. Go ahead,
So
Doubles.
basically, we drove past it and
Past the house.
Yeah, past this house.
Mm-hmm.
We were driving through A1A and we found this very ginormous house, like something straight out of a movie.
Right.
Right.
And it had that massive
Yep.
statue of a dolphin.
It had a dolphin.
A massive statue
It wasn't
of a
even
dolphin.
just a. It wasn't even a statue. It was a fountain.
Was it a fountain?
It was a dolphin fountain.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it was like dolphin fountain.
Right.
And hold on, I think we got a comment. 1 second.
We got a comment. Do we got a comment?
We got Stockton Coder who gave us a little emoji with an eyeball and two eyes.
Yeah, Stock Dakota. What's up, baby?
Yes.
What's up?
Fish. Stockton Coder, what's up? Anyways, so we were passing by this giant mansion. It was gated, had the
Right on
dolphin-
A1A.
the dolphin fountain.
And
right?
it was kind of gaudy. I mean, it was over the top.
It was so over the. It was massive.
Yeah.
The thing was the size of what? What's the biggest building you could think of that's like wide and rectangular?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know.
It was big.
It was the size. Yeah.
It was
yeah.
big.
It made most high schools or any school look
Small.
miniature.
And it was over the top, I would say.
Oh, it was massive, and we found out that was Oprah's house.
That was Oprah's
in
house
Florida.
on A1A. Yep, on A1A.
Step in
Yeah.
one of those. Oh,
Yeah, true
Oh.
story. True story.
I mean,
So that's a new thing apparently.
and it's and it's not like, and they're not the only ones that have it. Apparently, there's other rich people that have it. You look at the YouTube videos. There's people going. There's
Yeah.
YouTubers just giving tours, like it's cribs.
Right.
Like it's cribs. They're going into. Oh yeah, this is the pool room.
Right.
It's a nuke outside.
I know.
And you're going swimming. You're gonna dolphin dive. What?
I know. It's crazy. You know, here's the thing. I wonder if there's a way to make some kind of an industry out of
They
this.
have blast doors too.
Right, they do have the blast
I
doors.
wonder how many megatons.
I mean,
that
these
thing
things
can
have to
hold.
be very, very down deep in the ground. Out of what I
I
understand.
mean, those doors got to be thick.
And they had to be thick.
Yeah, those
and there's
doors
got to be filtration for oxygen
Oh yeah.
and all this other stuff.
Yeah, they got-
Sanitation,
yep.
sanitation.
Sanitation.
You know,
Sanitation.
all of that. You
I
know,
mean, I know
plumbing.
they have crews under there. They have actual crews that
Mm-hmm.
go there for work. Imagine going there to a nuclear bunker that's underground.
No kidding.
No, they have crews. They had in one of the videos, they had a guy who was actually maintaining the lettuce, and one of the YouTubers, the guy basically explained that they basically artificially breed the lettuce to grow into the ideal lettuce that you want. They breed the fish. They had fish under there that they use, and they make fresh fish. Now the YouTuber actually said something interesting when he had it. He said that that the fish was rather salty, but also the fact that the greens were delicious, but the fish was rather salty, which was interesting because normally fish ain't that salty. I mean, I guess his friend made it for him though. So
Oh, maybe put too much salt.
Too much salt.
Or maybe the bunker was an assault mine.
Oh.
Well, listen, let's get on to another topic. I mean, that's pretty interesting stuff. But we got another situation that we want to talk about. This is an industry that has been growing quite rapidly. There's a lot of money in it,
Oh yeah.
and we're gonna make the connection for you
connection.
with a story.
Ooh.
It's story time, folks.
Story time with Coach and Doubles.
Yes, it's story time. Let's
Story
share the stream. Let's get some more folks in here
Share,
so
let's
we can share. Yeah, let's share the stream.
Share.
So, all right, the next story is about a guy named Louis Albino.
Ooh.
So
Who's this guy?
Louis went missing
Yeah.
when he was 6 years old.
6 years old.
6 years old.
Oh.
And that was in the 1950s.
Wow.
Okay? And what happened was he was with his older brother, Roger, right?
Okay.
His older brother and he were hanging out,
Yep.
and they were, I guess, at a park in Oakland, California, hanging out.
Yep.
And what happened was some woman approached little Louis, 6-year-old Louis, and started having a conversation with him in Spanish and said, "Would you like to have some candy?"
Some candy.
And of course, little Louis, being a child, of course he's going to want candy, right?
Oh.
So she says, "Why don't you come with me?" So little Louis goes with her,
What's that white van?
leaves Roger, the older brother, right? And lo and behold, the woman abducts little Louis
Oh boy.
and takes a flight and, flies away somewhere, right? And this happened in the early 50s, okay? Fast forward to more recent times, okay?
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is his mother never gave up hope that little Louis would be found,
Yeah.
right? And, the entire family had photos of Louis all over their house. They always, thought about him. They were
never
always,
forgot him.
he's part of the family. I mean,
Yeah, of
he
course.
just disappeared because somebody
Somebody
took him,
snatched
but
him,
they
yeah.
didn't know. They didn't know exactly what happened, right?
Yeah, no.
So he disappears, and his sister ends
Okay.
up having a daughter
Yeah.
who's currently 63 years old. Because again, this happened a long time ago. It happened in the 50s,
50s,
right?
yeah.
So 70 years ago.
Yep.
So what ends up happening is the daughter of his sister, in other words, his niece, starts doing research and trying to find her uncle, and trying to do it for grandma, who's Louis's mom.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they weren't successful. The mother passed away before Louis was ever found, right?
Oh.
And it was very difficult to find Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd been gone for 70 years.
Yeah. No, that'll
So what ended up happening is the niece ended up. Oh, we got a subscriber. Ho! Greatness 81.
Greatness.
Welcome. So anyway, the niece does a lot of research. She
Yeah.
decides, you know what? I'm gonna do a Hail Mary. I'm gonna go get a DNA test.
A DNA test.
Right, because this is something that's pretty big now, right?
Okay.
You got companies like Ancestry.com.
Yeah, they
Call
got
me sponsorship.
Sponsorship.
Call me.
They got what? 23.
23andMe. Call me.
Call me.
Sponsorship.
Sponsorship.
Publicly
Hit me up.
traded company. Call me. Have your people
me.
call me.
Call
I'm
me.
just saying.
We're down like a SPAC.
So
We're doing a SPAC.
anywho, right? I mean, and then there's other companies too.
Oh.
But what she does, I don't know which particular DNA company she went with, but she went with a particular company, and lo and behold, there was a match with someone on the East Coast.
Oh.
Someone on the East Coast.
East
It's like a
Coast.
23% match, if I remember correctly, something like that.
Okay.
Which would make sense because she was the niece, right?
Nice. Yeah, the niece.
So, she starts doing some digging, and she
Yeah.
decides that she's going to go to the Oakland, California library.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know what microfiche is. Do you know what microfiche is?
Microfishes?
No.
I like
Microfiche. So in the old days, what they would do is they would take news articles and they would film them.
Okay.
And film is called film because it was actually a film of plastic, right?
Ooh.
And it would be in the form of a microfiche film, and you would put this film cartridge in a machine, which looked like a TV,
Okay.
and light would shine from behind the film, and you'd be able to see pages of the various news articles, right?
Ooh,
So
okay.
because this abduction happened 70 years ago,
Yeah.
it was all in newspapers, and the newspapers were transcribed to the microfiche. So
Okay.
she went to the library and she was looking up the story about when her uncle went missing.
Yeah.
And he was with his brother Roger, and he was at such and such a park, and so on and so forth, and basically the person was lost, right? Okay, so what ended up happening is she goes through the microfiche, and as she's going through the microfiche,
Yeah.
she finds the article of Roger and Lewis,
And Lewis.
and the story about how he got abducted and how tragic it was for the family, and how the family was trying to find him and couldn't find him, and they were distraught, and so on and so forth,
course,
right?
yep.
And so basically what ends up happening is she takes that material that she got from the microfiche at the library,
Yeah.
and she takes the results of her DNA test,
All right.
and she goes to the police station. And now, mind you, this is 70 years later.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's a long time.
So she goes to the police station and she has a conversation with the police department, and they recognize that the information was new and potentially could put a close to where is Lewis.
yeah, an old case.
Old case, very old, 70 years old,
She must
right?
have convinced them to like reopen
So
it.
so they reopened the case,
Yeah.
okay? And what ended up happening
Yeah.
is they did some digging,
Okay.
and lo and behold, they find Luis Armando Albino on the East Coast.
Really?
And apparently
Was it
what
East Coast or
happened
West Coast?
was,
East Coast or West Coast?
huh?
Was it the West Coast?
Well, no, they lived in California, in Oakland, California.
Oh.
But when he was abducted by that woman, she apparently took Lewis, baby Lewis, 6 years old,
Little 6-year-old Lewis. Yep.
all the way to the East Coast somewhere. They don't tell you where, but somewhere in the East Coast.
Wow.
And what ends up happening is he ends up living in the East Coast.
Okay.
He ends up becoming a Vietnam veteran with the Marine Corps and saw
Wow.
active duty in Vietnam. So not only is he alive, but he's a Vietnam
He's a vet.
War
Yeah.
hero, right? And he was also, watch this, a retired firefighter. How about that?
Wow.
And a father and a grandfather,
Wow.
right? So they end up connecting, right? And fortunately, unfortunately, his mother had already passed.
Oh.
Okay? But what apparently had happened was after that woman abducted him, she took him to the East Coast somewhere and gave him up to I guess a husband and wife. It's not really clear who
Who
they
they were,
are.
yeah,
It's
no,
not,
no.
that information is not
That's, like,
provided.
private info,
And
yeah.
that husband and wife raised him as their own child. How about that?
Wow.
Right?
Really?
And the only reason why this case was even open was because of the use of DNA testing, and here's the connection to stocks.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of companies
That
that
do
have
this.
gone that could go public or that have gone public that are involved in various components of DNA testing,
Like 23andMe.
like 23andMe.
Wasn't
Their
that like
ticker
a-
symbol is me.
Wasn't that a SPAC?
It was a SPAC. This is the company.
Yeah. Oh.
Right? This is it right here. Me. ME. This
ME.
is it.
That's
Right?
it.
And it turns out that and with 23andMe, watch this. It was a special acquisition company, blank check company,
Yep, yep, yep.
and in 2021 it went public when it merged, right? 23andMe merged with the SPAC company that was owned by billionaire Richard Brunson.
Oh.
By the way, I wonder if he has a
I wonder
nuclear
if he has a
luxury
nuclear
bunker.
too.
Probably.
Probably.
But to make a long story short, 23andMe is valued at $3.5 billion. So it's a
Billion
massive industry, a
Yeah.
big industry. And some more interesting information about Lewis.
Yeah.
He was able to reconnect with his niece, and obviously his niece was able to connect him with his sister, And obviously they were very happy to see each other and so on and so forth. And then they took a drive over to go see the older brother, who was basically the last person to see him alive for over
Wow.
70 years, Roger. So
Roger.
they all hugged, and obviously there was a lot of crying and things
Oh,
of that
of
nature,
course, yeah.
right? And then later on, he came back and visited with them and stayed with them for a 3-week period. He stayed with them,
You stay with
right?
them.
And then after that happened, about a month later, when he had gone back to the East Coast, because his life was in the East Coast at this point,
Yeah, of course.
when he went back to his home on the East Coast, his older brother Roger
away.
passed away because his older brother was ill,
Oh.
right? But at least he had the opportunity to see his baby brother one more time, you know.
Wow.
And they spent those 3 weeks. I mean,
That was
it's very
70
sad
years.
that it was 70 years that they were apart, but the
Yeah.
reunion, you know,
Yeah.
the reunion, and the mother never gave up faith that he was still alive,
Wow.
right? So he was a war veteran, hero, a firefighter, retired, a dad, a granddad, and now a sibling again,
Yeah.
and an uncle, right?
I mean, there's a lot of benefits to like companies like that. There's like other benefits other than just like finding family. There's also like
Well, knowing your
knowing
background.
your background, knowing your
But
medical history.
there's also medical history, right? There's
Yeah.
DNA companies that check out your medical history.
Exactly.
You hear that guy, Gary Becker, all the
Gary
time.
Brecka,
Do your
that-
blood test to see
yeah.
what kind of genes you have to decide.
To decide.
Gary, give me a call. Give me a call.
Give me a call.
Your people, my people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gary, come on. You
Yeah.
know? Come on. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
But Gary Brecka, where he tells people all these different things that you should, supplements that you should have and things of that nature because of your genetic makeup, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that stuff, right,
Yeah,
Doubles?
there's a lot of the things that people have that are like medical, medical stuff. That's normally some of it's genes, some of it they acquire over time.
Right.
It's a whole different thing.
And you're predisposed. So I
Yeah.
think that this is an area that has a lot of potential.
Oh, of course.
You know, a lot of potential. Just very interesting, a little bit different,
Yeah.
little bit of a story. Very 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 catchy stuff.
Little
Now
bit of storytelling.
let's wrap it up with some financial stuff that we
Alrighty.
need to think about. So we know that the Federal Reserve is planning on cutting rates. We've already spoken about that. So that should help spur the small cap market as well as the large cap market.
Yep.
But in addition to that, what we're also seeing is that today Brent crude oil futures have settled at $73.90 a barrel, down 59 cents, down 0.79%.
Oh.
Okay, so oil prices go down. Oil prices have a lot to do with energy, the cost of energy, the cost of
Energy.
plastic, so on and so forth. If those costs go down, obviously we're going to have a situation where, possibly
Yeah.
it'll be good for the economy.
That would be good for the economy.
Yeah, good for the stock market, so that we can
stonks.
find more parabolic runners for
Yes,
you.
good for the economy.
And you know what usually
Good for
goes
the
hand in
stock.
hand with the overall market?
What does?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin up
Ah.
63%. Now it had a high.
63%.
$63,000. That's what I meant. 63. Oh, wow, can you imagine 63%? I'm so used to calling the stonks, you know.
Stonks.
$63,000. It's up $63,000, which is interesting
Wow.
because it was up like $68,000,
Yeah.
and then it came tumbling down and went into the mid 50s, 55, 56,000. But now it's popping back up again, and I'd have to say maybe it has something to do with the fact that these interest rates are being cut and the economy is starting to get spurred on, and maybe that's bringing the Bitcoin up as well. So we're going to keep an eye on the Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin. I like it. I like it a lot.
Bitcoin.
I like it a lot. You know what I mean?
Ish.
So we're going to keep an eye on the Bitcoin. We know that the oil prices went down, so hopefully gas prices go down because
Hopefully.
we
That'd be
need
great.
that. That'll be a good
The
thing.
thing is with gas prices like that connects to a lot of stuff. The cost of goods and services.
Yes, transportation.
Transportation goes
The
up.
transportation.
The goods and service gotta go up
There you
because
go.
it's heavier expense.
Yeah. So
Ish.
anyway, it's pretty interesting stuff. So anyway, this is the first episode
Yeah.
of Coach Nick Money Matters, baby.
Yes, baby.
And we're going to have some more of the stuff. I hope you enjoyed this show. We'll be back on the air with our stonk runners in Microcap Mornings.
Yes.
Microcap Mornings, that'll be in the morning. We should have a show on tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And we'll set your notifications on YouTube,
YouTube.
on Twitch, on Twitter,
Oh,
aka
you
X,
gotta do it like this. You gotta do YouTube at Coach Nick Money.
at Coach Nick Money,
Yes, and Instagram at Coach Nick Money.
at Coach Nick Money. We
Facebook.
left out
Facebook.
X.com,
Well,
X.com.
we'll get to X. Give me a second.
You want to get to X? Okay,
Get to
okay.
X.
Whatever.
Oh.
Facebook.
Facebook.
At Coach Nick Money. Listen, at Coach Nick Money on Facebook. Meta.
Meta.
Okay? Marky
Meta.
Mark Zuckerberg. You know what I'm talking about?
Sponsorship.
Sponsorship. You got the nuclear bunker with the luxurious stuff going on.
This is Coach Nick Money Matters, sponsored by Marky Mark's
Marky
Nuclear
Marks.
Bunker.
Yeah, we're martial artists too, guy. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh.
Show some love there. Show some love.
Show some love.
Right, what else? What else? Instagram.
X, I already did.
Did we say X?
Yeah, I
Instagram
already
at
did
Coach
Instagram.
Nick Money?
Yeah,
We said that?
Yeah.
Did we say TikTok?
No, I gotta do X.
X.
X at Coach Nick Money.
Also known as Twitter, at Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money.
We got a lot of content on Twitter.
Yes.
A lot on X.com. A lot.
Obviously, for those of you who are not on YouTube, Coach Nick Money.
Yes.
Well, Nick Money, but it's
It's at Coach Nick Money is
At
the
Coach
handle.
Money.
At Coach Nick Money
At
on
Coach Nick Money.
on YouTube.
Yes.
And of course, we're also on TikTok
And-
at DBL Nicks.
We skipped Twitch. We're gonna save the best for last.
We did.
okay?
We skipped Twitch.
Twitch.
Twitch at Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money.
Listen, it's late in the day. I'm tired, fella. At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money, and then
Yeah.
TikTok is at DBL Nicks,
At DBL Nicks.
but the username is Coach Nick Money.
And the username is Coach Nick Money. Okay,
Yes.
so that is the story with that. And of course, we've left a link in the description for you to do a 4-day trial with our Discord. Of course, we call a lot of microcap bangers a lot of times. We're the
Yes.
best at it, period.
This is what we do.
We just unmatched.
Yeah.
Unmatched. We just call endless amount
More
of
money.
bangers all day long.
all day.
So that's the story with that. So the link is in the description for that, and also in the pinned comment. So you can do a 4-day trial for $1.99, and then it's $49.99 per month. I mean, a mere bag of shells.
Mere bag
man.
of shells.
Mere bag of shells. Well worth it.
yeah.
You know, you get some ridiculous alerts like KAVL that ran 230%.
230%.
After hours, MSS, well over 100%.
Yep.
Right? I mean, and we're monitoring from 4 a.m. in the morning Eastern Standard Time all the way through 8 p.m. Eastern Standard
8
Time.
p.m.,
Who does
baby.
that? Nobody.
Nobody.
We do
We
it.
do.
All right, baby. Listen, it's Coach Nick Money.
DBL Nicks.
Make a lot of money, because I am Coach Nick
Yeah,
Money.
we got to do the thing. We got to do the. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well as.
I'm slipping, doubles.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
slipping.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Do it.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Because sharing's caring, doubles.
Sorry.
And it helps the stream grow.
Yes.
So we'll be able to put out more and more content for you.
Oh, no.
We hope you enjoyed this. This is our maiden voyage of Coach Nick Money Matters. We hope you enjoyed it. If you got ideas of things that you want us to talk about, go ahead.
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. There you go.
Yes.
All right, folks.